Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining our fundraising tools webinar for Kitsap Great Give 2026. We will wait a minute or two for to allow any folks to join that are waiting currently or are joining as we speak. If you want to go ahead and go in the chat, you can maybe put your name and your organization so that we know who's here and who you're representing today. It's great to see so many organizations joining.
Hmm. Such a diversity of organizations too.
Lots of familiar ones.
Mhm.
Welcome, welcome, everyone. If you're just joining, if you want to go ahead and join the chat and put in your name and the organization you're representing or the organizations. I know some of you wear multiple hats with volunteer work that you're doing, board members, boards that you might be a part of. Okay, great. I'm going to go ahead and start our webinar 2 presented by Mightycause regarding the fundraising tools available for you on the platform for Kitsap Great Give. Thank you for your involvement. It's going to be an amazing day on March 10th. I'm really looking forward to seeing the community live and in action. Sorry about that. My name is MK Holiday. I'm the Director of Giving Event Success at Mightycause. Mightycause, if you're not familiar with us, we are the technology partner that mans the platform, both the front end that the donors are interfacing with and the back end managing your registration and donor reports. So I am happy to field questions, about the technology in general. If you want to go ahead and put questions in the chat or the QA, we will respond to some of them the within the presentation where it makes sense, and others we might leave until the end and and we will have a Q&A session after the presentation. So again, I am MK with Mightycause, and joining me are Lillian and Gretchen with Kitsap Community Foundation. They are amazing. You're probably familiar with Joe as well, doing a lot of the nonprofit support. She's not able to be here today, but she's here with us in spirit. All right, so today, our agenda, I wanted to talk through the donor experience so that you're familiar with what the donors will experience, and that makes you feel more confident in encouraging donations and sending out communications to your donors to have them participate in the giving event. We'll also talk about peer-to-peer fundraisers, both creating a peer-to-peer fundraiser using the template tool. We will touch on matching grants and what's available there, and then a brief prize overview, talk about the free resources that are available to you, and then go into the Q&A. Okay, so our donors are amazing. And there are a few ways that you can customize their experience. One is customizing the donation form. Two is sharing your direct donation form link. And the third is customizing your thank you page. So that donor stewardship from the beginning email through the thank you that they see on screen, and then any retention efforts or stewardship that you do after the fact. We'll go through that. All right. So to customize your donation form, which could be you're wanting to add the ability for them to add a designation or talking about donation levels and perhaps specifying certain donation levels that would be impactful for your organization and what they might be able to allow your organization to do, like kind of like a little mini impact statement. To do that, you're going to go to on the dashboard on the left-hand side of your page when you log in, you'll go to checkout and then go to the donation form. So as I mentioned, like kind of those mini impact statements, those are these donation levels that you see. So in this example, this looks like it's for a type of humane society type of organization, animal shelter. They are letting the donor know that, a $25 donation would be amazing. It could allow us to provide 1 month of cat food, whereas, $200 would fully vaccinate one dog or cat. And so you can choose different dollar amounts. I believe you can do up to five, but you can choose the different dollar amounts, and you don't have to put a like a little story element in there if you don't want to. You could just do the dollar amount. But I think that the more that we tell our story, the more personal we make the experience for the donor. And so I would encourage you to think about donation levels that would be, something kind of like specific, would have a specific impact for your organization. The other element I mentioned to customize your donation form that you can guide your donors are through both dedications and designations. So the dedication, your donor can make a donation that's dedicated to someone, whether it's on behalf of someone, in honor of someone, in memory of someone. And so they can select that and put in the name of the person. They can add contact information. And if they add contact information, email address, then the system, it'll ask them if they want to send an email to that designee and let them know that you, as a donor, made a gift that was dedicated or in honor of this other person. And so that's another way to personalize the experience. So the dedication is already on that donation form, but sorry, you can let them know about the dedication. You can add if you'd like. Uh, it says add designation section in the screenshot. So if you want to add a designation, a section, you would just click that gray plus sign. And in this example, this organization had added another designation and they had put in one for vaccinations and one for the Plan the Park program. The general fund, I believe, is a default designation. And so some folks just have it defaulted to have the one designation for a general fund. But this is another way of maybe putting some programmatic initiatives in as designations. So where do you want your money to go towards, or how would you best like us to use it? I know that we all need overhead, so general fund is a great way to guide your donors. But maybe you have a campaign coming up for a certain initiative, and a designation is a great way to portray that to your donor. There is a good thing to note when you're thinking about it, since so much of what we do is branding and marketing. On that donor designation, it's a 25 character limit on the designation. So if you have a long program that you're trying to explain or something, think about how to condense that, maybe abbreviate it, and get it in there in 25 characters. So if you want to, you can, of course, when you're, emailing your donors and telling them to give or say, hey, can you give during this time for a certain prize? You can provide them a link to, say, your profile page, which you know how to get that link, and put it in the email and say, here's, come to our profile, or it's good to at least do that. Also, you could include, here is a link to our homepage for kitsapgreatgive.org, or perhaps, to the search page. But if you want to be the most direct and make sure that they don't like run into any hurdles and are able to give directly, on your donation form in the checkout, you'll see a copy direct donate link. You just need to click that button, or click that link, and it will copy the direct link to your donation form. And you can put that in an email to your donor so that they just click that one link and they automatically go to your form where they can select perhaps that donation level, do a dedication or a designation, and submit their payment. It also, of course, allows them, maybe they go directly to your donation form, but then that doesn't prevent them from searching for other organizations that they might also like to add to their carts. If you're worried about that diluting it, don't be. It's very easy for a donor to give to multiple organizations. I believe, actually, I saw this confirmed the other day. You can make up to 200 donations in a single cart. So, encourage your donors to give. Probably I would say, looking at donor retention, probably the most important element to um, your stewardship of your donor through this process of using the platform and making the donation to you is to add a thank you page. And so we make it really easy for you to make a custom thank you message that will display for the donor when they check out. So to do that, you'll go to your navigation, which again, your dashboard, which is on the left-hand side when you log into the platform. You'll go down to checkout and you'll choose thank you page. Um, if you don't already have a thank you message, you'll click this where the green arrow is pointing to. It says add custom content. You'll click that button and it will open up one of those simple text editors. It's called a WYSIWYG, or what you see is what you get is the name of it. It's the same text editor that you had available to you when you were on your profile and working through that about section. So it allows you to add a button or to embed a Vimeo or a YouTube video or to add a picture. Maybe you want to add a hyperlink to something. Maybe you want to have a little video that's a testimonial from a program recipient or something like that. You can do a one sentence thank you message that's still personal, or you could add, a whole variety of things to it. Uh, just depends on what you have time for, and what you'd like to say. But the donor will see a thank you message from the foundation, and below that, they'll see a thank you message for each of the donations, each of the organizations that they gave to. And you can preview that thank you message. Oh, sorry, I skipped ahead. Again, this is what the thank you message editor looks like. As I had mentioned, all of those different editing bullets, paragraphs, embeddable things that you can do with it. And then, sorry, you can, as I mentioned, add a button. So you could use a default button, which is going back to the search page, or you could say, go to our blog, or maybe you sign up for a volunteer opportunity. You have a link to a different page. And then, sorry, finally, skipped ahead. You can view the thank you page. So if you would like to see what the donor is going to experience, you can go ahead and on the thank you page that you are editing, you can click view this page and it will show you that message from the foundation, and then it'll show you what your thank you message looks like below that. So you'll be able to see that on-screen view, so that real-time editing, you'll be able to easily see what your donor will be experiencing. And of course, the thank you page always tells your donor that the receipt has been emailed, because if you're a first-time participant with us, the Mightycause platform does automatically send out the donation receipts. So the thank you message is just that next step in stewardship. And we also encourage you, of course, to maybe send out a postcard with a thank you message, or or an email or a phone call to your donor as a way to thank you for them, thank them for their gift and for their impact on you. Okay, so that was some of the customizations available in the donation experience, that donation form, the thank you page, the ability to add images and impactful statements on there. The next area that I wanted to speak to is the peer-to-peer fundraisers. And talk about, what is this peer-to-peer fundraising? It's peer to organization fundraising. I suppose you are having individuals make fundraisers on behalf of your organization. So, why is it effective? What impact does it have? And how do I set it up? And how do I use the Mightycause tool of setting up a template to make it even easier for someone to create a fundraiser or a peer-to-peer fundraising page? So, peer-to-peer fundraising, if you're not as familiar with it, is all about leveraging your network or leveraging a network of supporters to fundraise on your organization's behalf. We think there's different people that you could reach out to and kind of do a push with them. One group that you might want to approach is your board members, and challenge every board member to create a peer-to-peer and set a goal on that peer-to-peer fundraising page. Perhaps you have consistent annual donors, so you might challenge them to create a fundraising page for you. If they're, recurring annual donors, they've realized, what their donation can achieve. This story is really important to them. So they're able to tell a compelling story, I think, and reach out to their network. Also, volunteers are a great group to look at. They're spending, their precious resource of time with you. So surely they would be open to creating a peer-to-peer fundraising page as well. Creating a page is free. It is very simple, and it is just a great way to be able to reach out to maybe a relative or a coworker or someone and say, "Hey, this organization and their work makes a difference for me, or made a difference in my life, or I think is important because," and allows them to easily give to your story. Um, Peer-to-peer fundraising allows you to reach new donors as an organization. It allows you to grow your reach for Kitsap Great Give. It gets your organization's profile page in front of a lot more people than you would originally have in your own Rolodex of donors. And people are inspired and influenced by others. And sometimes you want to make a change, or there's a lot going on in the world and you want to make a difference. And you don't know how. So if a trusted friend or coworker says, "Oh, I'm giving to this organization," that often compels someone to make a donation as well. So setting up a peer-to-peer fundraising page is really quite easy. On your profile page, you'll see two buttons. One is donate and one is fundraise. They're going to click fundraise, and it's going to automatically link a fundraising page to your organization. From there, they will see a pop-up window that says create a fundraiser. They're going to click get started, and then build my fundraiser. So it walks them through step by step. That will take them to the fundraising page, which has its own mini dashboard like you see in your organization's record. It allows them to see their donations, look at the checkout experience, even set up a matching grant perhaps for their fundraiser. But similar to your on-screen editing, the fundraiser is going to see those gray plus signs where they can edit the information that they're providing. They can add a video or an image. They can make a summary. They can establish how long they want their fundraiser page to be published. They can set a goal for it. And it's all very easy for them to toggle on between the edit mode and then toggle it off and see what their fundraiser page would look like as soon as it's published. But they can see what it would look like published before they publish it. So they have plenty of time to make changes, and they can always edit it after the fact. A fundraising template. So setting up that fundraising page is easy. Setting up a fundraising template makes it even easier for the donors. So perhaps you want to make a fundraising template that's targeted at your board members. You would come as the organization, come to your dashboard and go to fundraising tools and then select fundraiser template. There's a create button in the upper right-hand corner. You'll go ahead and create a template. And from there, you can put some different notes on what was this used for. You can put in a suggested title. In our screenshots that you'll see when we share this, we put brackets around where we recommend hey, tell the fundraiser to insert their name or insert their whatever within the brackets. And so your creating all of that for them. So we're removing kind of barriers to creating a page. We're making it so easy that the donor or the fundraiser is not going to encounter a scenario where they say, "Oh, I didn't know what to put here." You're telling them exactly what to put, and they're just going to edit it. You can also put in a suggested goal, like, hey, maybe make a goal of a $500 or $1,000 for your fundraising page. They can change that. You can even put in a default image, so maybe a programmatic photo that they can go ahead and edit if they'd like to make it more personal. You can even give them a start on the story for the fundraiser, depending on the audience that you're targeting the template for. The important thing about once you create that template is you'll see in this screenshot that the bottom one has a star that is uh, colored in. That's innate. That means that that fundraising template is enabled. So you need to have a template enabled so that when the donor or the peer-to-peer fundraiser clicks the fundraise button, it's going to say, get started, and then it will say, do you want to use the template? It's going to be defaulted to yes. But in order for it to default to yes, we need to have a fundraiser template enabled here. And then, as I mentioned, along with being able to edit a fundraising page after you created it, you can also edit a template along the way just by clicking this three-dot menu on the right-hand side and clicking Edit Template. And as I mentioned, when you click that fundraise button, it's going to take you to a screen that says it's going to be defaulted to be checked for use template provided by the organization. And then they're going to see that screen where everything's basically pre-filled for them, and they're going to be go through it really quickly. First step for doing a fundraising campaign, I think, or encouraging peer-to-peer fundraising is creating that template and then having it ready, so having it available before you start asking people to create a fundraiser for you. You can brainstorm perhaps internally about who do we want to target to create peer-to-peers on our behalf. Some ways to look at that are who in our donor list or our volunteers is really connected in their community, or who responds to emails we send out. So we know that that they will kind of take initiative and be proactive on what you've provided them. Maybe who has invested a good amount of time or money into our organization. Those people are all dedicated to your cause, so they're great people to consider for peer-to-peer fundraising. We recommend that you start sending out your peer-to-peer solicitation emails at least a week before March 1st so that users can immediately take action and be ready for early giving. Peer-to-peer fundraising is a great way to leverage networks. It's a great way to reach people that are not traditionally people you might have the outreach to. Another great way to encourage donations is through matching grants. And they kind of inspire people to give a little bit more. Matching grants can be perhaps you've heard of someone saying, hey, if you give during this time, you'll double your donation. So maybe you get a one-to-one matching grant where someone says, hey, every dollar you match up to $200, I'm going to provide you a $200 matching grant for that. It doesn't have to be a huge matching grant. Big ones are great. Know your audience, know who to go after, but also it can be a $150 matching grant or something smaller that feels like a reach for some people, but still makes a huge difference for you. We recommend that you consider board members, major donors, maybe local businesses as prospects for your matching grant. Maybe people that appeal to their interests. So, how have they expressed interest in your organization before? Or is your list of people that will be donating to your organization a list of people that they would like to have their brand exposed to, so that a donor would see the name of the person on that matching grant and say, oh, wow, I want to investigate that organization or that local business. It's never too early to start talking about matching grants with those board members or major donors. Starting now would be a great idea. if I would say maybe come up with a specific ask for the donor, but if they want to finesse that matching grant or have it work a certain way, our matching grant tool is really flexible, and I do have a screenshot of that in here. There's a lot you can do with it, and our support team are the experts at the matching grant tool. So if you're thinking about asking for a specific type of matching grant, or maybe a donor made a request of you, feel free to email support@mightycause.com and say, hey, this is what's going on. Can I do this through the matching grant tool, or can you check and make sure I set it up correctly? And our team is happy to help. Um, we try to make it inspiring, these matching grants, so that when a donor lands on your organization page, they're going to see that there is a live match or live matches. So for instance, in this screenshot over the donate button, we see that there is a match live or a number of matches live at this time. And if they click on that match live little kind of stamp, it's going to take them to see the details of the match. Um, Mightycause does all the math and all of the work behind the match. So we keep track of when it's fulfilled. We keep track of adding those dollar to dollar donations to your ticker, to your metrics. You're able to see in your donation report which donations were matched and what the amount was for them. And then, sorry, again, your donors, when they come to your profile page, they'll be able to go to a matching grant section where they will see all of the different live matches that are occurring and that still have funds available for your organization. Setting up a matching grant is also as easy as the navigation for everything else you do in the Mightycause platform. You'll log in and go to your organization's dashboard, and under fundraising tools, you will see one for matching grants. This brings you to the match manager, where you will be able to see live matches and matches that have been exhausted or fulfilled. There is kind of standard across the platform. There is that create button in the upper right-hand corner, and it'll guide you through different elements that you can add to your match. So perhaps you have a name of a match sponsor, or maybe it's several people that are sponsoring the match, so you can put those names in. You could also make it anonymous if the donor, the matching donor would prefer that. You can put in your value. We recommend keeping the box checked to include that match in your page metrics. You can give it a special title, like Ben's $300 match, or something catchy. I'm not in marketing. You can queue up the matches to occur one after another, or they can occur at the same time. Our team could talk you through that again. And dollar to dollar are the most popular and prevalent matches, but perhaps someone said, I want to give you a 200% match. So great, that's a 2-to-1 match. So you can put in different math, different rules, and there's a lot you can do with it. You can elect to include offline donations that you might enter in the match. So perhaps it's something to talk to your sponsor about. You could, yes, include or not include peer-to-peer fundraising dollars into your match. I recommend in the screenshot below, it shows about how to queue a grant. So essentially, if you have multiple matches, if you elect to queue one to occur after the previous one has been exhausted or the time has expired on it, it'll then give you a list of the other matching grants that you have set up and allow you to select, sequentially how should they occur. Okay. So matching grants, you'll see more in the matching grant tool when you look. It might raise questions on how to do something. I again encourage you to directly email our support team. There are also a lot of articles about matching grants and how to set them up in our support center. So when you're in the platform and get to that matching grant area, if you want to click that question mark icon in the lower right-hand corner, that will automatically know that you're looking at matching grants, and it'll queue up articles for you about the how-to and about the process of matching grants. And then, of course, if you don't find the information you're looking for, you can submit a ticket and our team will get right back to you. I think another exciting way to inspire donations is by being familiar with the prize setup and what prizes are available, and are there certain times or types of goals that you would like to drive your campaign in order to help you win a prize. There are incentives for generosity. All donations made through the online platform are eligible for prize opportunities. We have prizes that you've seen previously, the Gold Star Club and Rookie of the Year. We've got Power Hour challenges. There's milestone gifts. We are encouraging matching contributions. We're encouraging volunteer-led organizations and just impactful creative storytelling. So there is a prizes page that has all of the details on the prizes. If you have questions on the prize, you can of course reach out to our team and we can walk you through them. Each nonprofit can win one prize total. We want to make sure that everyone has a chance to be a part of the day and the excitement. And so we want to encourage participation by small organizations, large organizations, all types of different agencies throughout the giving day. Um, so you'd like to win a prize. I'd love to win a prize. I'm going to communicate the prizes to my supporters. However, perhaps I, as an organization, am going to say, we're going after this prize. So maybe you just communicate that one prize so that you can drive donations there. Or you can still tell them about other prizes, but that's something to think about with your strategy. Um, Using social media to really drive donations, especially if you're driving towards that power hour or specifically time sensitive prize. You can also use peer-to-peer fundraising to increase unique donors. So prizes, you can have a goal on your fundraising page to have X number of unique donors. You could have matches that are specifically, this match will be released when X number of donors have made a donation to our platform. So you can kind of use some of the other fundraising tools on the Mightycause platform to help you win these prizes and go after them. And as I said, we recommend choosing, just a few prizes, maybe one or two to really push for, to really focus your efforts and kind of full steam ahead on those. Uh, there are a lot of free resources for you. I want to make sure that you're aware of them and where to get them. If you want to get the Kitsap Great Give logos, if you want posters, postcards, Zoom templates, we've got the QR codes here for you. I will be providing the team with the slide deck so you can easily snap those QR codes or you can go after them right now. I'll also make sure that the recording of this webinar is uploaded to the site so that you have access to do that and view it as well. There is this bit.ly URL that you can go to grab the files as well. It's bit.ly/KGG-resources. And so the team has pulled together a wide variety of things that you can use to bring your donors in and let them have a great experience and have some fun on the day. Kind of our last summary is, if I could say you could do 5 things, what should I do? One, set a goal. Are you driving towards specific dollar amount being raised? Are you driving towards a certain number of donors engaging and giving donations? Or are you looking for new donors? Be something different than you did last year, and maybe you have a new reach, but like have that one clear thing that's going to kind of drive who you reach out to and specifically like what prizes you go after, and you can achieve it. You want to make sure your profile is complete. Your pages are public facing now. You can go in and kind of edit your story or add more pictures or do anything you'd like through, from now all the way through the giving event. Your page doesn't shut down on the day. It's not frozen. You can continue to, update your goal as appropriate. Or maybe you got a great testimonial with a donation or a thank you that you sent out and you want to include that on your page. Feel free to add that as you go. Ask people directly I mean, there's a power to, doing a social post or something like that, but also people are influenced by their personal relationships with others. So, asking someone in person at an event or, texting someone with a direct link or emailing them, those personal asks that come from individuals within your organization are your most effective tool. Um, Show up on the giving day, just be ready to interact with donors, with social media, just being available, present, doing those thank yous. As I said, like a prompt thank you, it really goes a long way. People love to receive them. And let's see, reminders, early giving opens March 1st. It's through March 9th. The event is Tuesday, March 10th, 2026. And our next kind of webinar session hosted by Mightycause is a Q&A session on February 24th at 11 a.m. You can scan that QR code to register today for that. And also, we wanted to make sure that you know that you can reserve your ad space in Sound Publishing's Kitsap Great Give insert, and that sales deadline is today, February 3rd. So it's 1:38. You have plenty of time to go ahead and get started on reserving your ad space. And now I have the rest of the time available for Q&A if there's any questions that have come up or anything you've been wondering about the platform, whether it's what I mentioned today or perhaps it's something different.
Yeah, we've got some questions in the
Okay.
chat. Someone is asking if you could demo a setup for a match.
Sure. Let's see. Yes, I can and will. I'm still sharing my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, so I'm going to our demo site, just so you know, I'm not revealing anybody's private information. And I am now giving like my Mightycause look at it, but don't worry, this is not quite what you see. Um, I'm going to go to this, I'm going to pretend like I am this Animal Humane Society organization. And what I would do if I wanted to set up a match is I would land on my dashboard, which again has my metrics and tells me where I'm at with registration and my to-do list. And I'm going to, from my dashboard, go to fundraising tools. And then I'm going to come to matching grants. And I am going to click this create button up here where I will type, the name of my match sponsor. So mine is my sister. Um, you can make it anonymous. This is where you would add your match value. Um, Most people want to include that 250, like as the match is fulfilled, they want to include those dollars in their page metrics. So that's where the checkbox is there. Here is where you can upload an image. You can add the title. This is if you want to queue the match. You would select the queue, and it allows you to look for any matches that are available. Or perhaps you want your match to start and end at a certain time, so you would be able to select that. And these elements at the bottom, this is where you can really get into kind of personalize, customizing that match. And this is where we have a lot of great articles on what these things mean. But if you have a dollar to dollar match, that is 100% match. So that's what you would put in. You could say, your donor might say, I want to give you a $5,000 match, but I'm not going to release it until you raise $5,000. So then that would be like a cumulative threshold match, or hey, I have $1,000 match for you after you get 25 unique donors, and so that would be this cumulative threshold type of match, as opposed to like a 1-to-1 or 2-to-1 match. Um, and then, as I mentioned, you can do things like including offline donations in the match or including fundraising dollars in the match from peer-to-peer fundraisers. Um, And this is optional, but there is a place where you can add the email. This email, once a match is fulfilled, the system can send out an email that says, "Hey, match sponsor, your match is fulfilled. Click here to make fulfillment of that match online." So if you don't want that email to go out, don't put anything there. If you are curious about the email and want to consider sending it to your matching grants donor, you could put in your email address or maybe a generic agency email in there, and then kind of preview that email, and then perhaps you forward it on with a personal note to the matching grant sponsor or something like that. But that is the matching setup. I did see a question from someone that asked about how to change your goal throughout the day or just on the day. You simply come to your organization page, and this organization does have a goal. So you would come here to this pencil icon, so everything in the little circle is a editable item, and you would just click on the pencil icon, edit goal, and then you could say, oh, you know what, um, we just got a $50,000. We're going to raise that goal by $50,000. So now I have my new goal and it's live. Or let's see, perhaps you wanted to say, um, I wanted to change my metrics on the giving day, or I wanted to display some different information. That's all in this whole area. Let me see. Oh, April asked the current year goal. To update your current year goal, you just come to that edit icon and you would just say calculate from a specific date, and you could put in a date that you want your metrics to start accruing from. And let's see. Let's see. Gretchen is answering the questions about the ad space for the sound publishing. Um, I think we got the goal questions. If I didn't answer a goal question, please post again so I can see it in the chat. Um,
Oh, that's all I saw too.
that's all you saw? Okay,
Mhm.
great. Sorry, I'm just like staring at my screen really. I think I need bifocals, but it's okay. Okay. If there's nothing else, I'd really like to thank everyone for joining and allowing me to kind of go through at a high level some really kind of impactful tools to kind of drive the needle on your progress for the giving event, whether it's customizing the donor experience, whether it is encouraging peer-to-peer donations, or doing the matching gifts, which I think do inspire people to give and sometimes consider giving a bit more depending on what the match itself is. And then also using prizes as a way to see traffic come through your profile, using prizes as a way to attract donations and people's engagement. And again, I'd like to thank you for everything you do in the community. Um, and that is everything I have. I will be sending this webinar and the slide deck to the team so that we can upload it to our resources page.
When will the
The
power hours
yeah.
be released? Oh, we've still got questions coming in.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
okay.
Let's see, our
So there was a
power
couple more.
hours.
They are released on the prizes page currently already.
We drop that link in here.
Yeah. And the effectiveness of the sound publishing advertising, it is released in the special section is released in the Bainbridge Island Review, North Kitsap Herald, Port Orchard Independent, and the Central Kitsap Reporter. I don't actually have any analytics on how effective it is, but it is seen by all of those used like what would you call them? People that
Readers?
get those. Yeah, readers. Thank you. I was like, it's not a user because that's when you're
Yep.
talking about web. Um, so yeah, so all of those people would see it and read it. I don't know. There is a number. I just don't have that off of the top of my head of how many readers there are. Um, and there's prices. You can see that. I put the link in the chat of the price for the ad sales, and you can also view it on the Resources Hub page. You've got the platform questions. I think there was one more question about please define offline donations when talking about matching, and how do we know when they come in? That was one more
Oh,
question.
offline donations are perhaps if someone comes to your office and they have they wrote out $100 check, and they want it to count towards the giving day, you could enter that as an offline gift, and say that we received $100 gift. So an offline donation is a donation that is not processed through the platform. Yeah, and so I think that you would know that they come in just because if they like kind of show up at your office or in your hands and you're like, oh, I want to count this towards my metrics on the giving event, then the offline tool is a way for you to do that.
Yes, and
And
any offline donations that we process at the foundation are going to be the ones that qualify for a bonus.
mm,
And then we also
that's
send
right.
out a tax receipt when we process them. And then we publish those to your record keeping, your donation records too. So basically, we take all of those offline donations because sometimes donors send a bulk check of like $1,000 with a bunch of different organizations they want to split that off to, and we process that. And then at usually about a month and a half in after we finished our calculations, we send out the physical check that contains all the offline donations, prizes, and bonus that we processed on our end.
Thank you for specifying that.
I'll put the Resources Hub page in the chat too. And yep, I'm putting that in the chat there. Can you find the Canva templates are also on the Resources Hub page. So if you just scroll down to the bottom of the page, there's a section for free Canva templates. And if you click on any of the images, it'll take you right to that Canva template. So there's Canva templates for postcards, which I realize I spelled template wrong. Need to fix that there. There's flyers, posters, web templates for squares, socials, reels, multiple different things there. So, and they're all on the Resources Hub page.
Great. All right, I'm going to turn
And
the recording off. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, anybody can always just email us too if you have questions. And make sure that you're on our mailing list because we send out those emails with all sorts of resources.